Madison scene. Wanna get up and go to the latest show. Theater, dance, music and arts. If you wanna be in the know, Biz Buzz with Bruno. A singer, an author or a playwright. A dancer or an actor in the spotlight. Artists, poets, comedians too. Look at all the things Bruno has for you. If you're really keen on the Madison scene, wanna get up and go to the latest show. Theater, dance, music and arts. If you wanna be in the know, Biz Buzz with Bruno.
Showbiz Buzz with Bruno is presented by madstheater.com. And I've got a lot to say.
Presented by Mads Theater. Theater.com.
Hello and welcome to Showbiz Buzz with Bruno, presented by Mads Theater. Welcome to the holiday festive season, and in keeping with that thought, we have two wonderful people from Groundlings Theater. Please say hello to Hannah Nice and to Bradley Carter.
Hello.
And Bradley has a special guest with him today. We could probably introduce right off the bat.
Jimmy the Raven.
Very nice. So tell us all about Bradley. This is your first time with us here.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit about your background and your history of who you are.
Yeah, well, I grew up all the way in New Jersey and, got involved with theater, going into the city to see The Music Man and Fiddler on the Roof as a kid. And then as I started getting into middle and high school, started doing theater and musical theater, just for fun, never really studied it. When I went off to college, I studied music and did some opera here and there, but was primarily theory and composition. So I know about music, not a super trained performer there, but then, I went to a small liberal arts college where Epic, the healthcare company out in Verona, recruited a lot of recent college grads, and that's what got me out to Madison, Wisconsin. Don't work at Epic anymore, but stayed here in Madison for almost a decade now. And then, did some singing here and there. Then COVID hit. And about a year or two after COVID, I realized I need a reason to get out of the house, do things other than play video games. And a friend told me about a production of Beauty and the Beast out in Verona. And I tried out for that, did it, had a great time, met some people, started doing theater again here and there. Then how I got involved with, how I got to know Hannah was actually not from theater, but from something even nerdier. We met playing Dungeons and Dragons at a local board game store. And then my schedule changed. I couldn't go to that gathering anymore. Then a few months later, I'm auditioning for Patience, which Michael here directed, and Hannah was on the team. And I see her at auditions, and I'm like, I know you. Where do I recognize you? And yeah, so we got back in touch from that. And then I think it was that year you had your the first Groundlings production, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And so yeah, that was a wonderful, production of Shakespeare in a Barn in Waunakee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so doing some other theater things here and there with the Savoyards and with Groundlings, and yeah, now I've got It's a Wonderful Life on the way. Yeah.
And you have a raven on your hand. So you see
Yeah,
how
yeah,
the universe
true.
provides for you.
Exactly. Well, the specific part of the universe I would like to thank is the West Side Willie Street Co-op.
Yes.
They sell puppets, and
Who
I
knew? I had no idea they
Yeah.
sold puppets.
yeah, well, where I currently have my day job, ETC, over in Middleton, so I'm driving every day down University Avenue, and so I fairly often will just stop by the Willie Street Co-op for breakfast. And one day when I did that, I saw, oh, they have puppets. I'll keep that in mind. And so then,
For context, the day after the read-through, when
Mhm.
we had first discovered Jimmy the Raven, and I had to on the spot delegate it, because it wasn't on the cast list. Bradley texted me just a photo of the Raven puppet and he said, "Look what I found." I was like, "Oh God, how have you done this? What? Where did you even
Yeah, I
find
think
this? And he goes, Willie Street Co-op. And I
Yeah.
went, excuse me?
yeah, I think I sent the picture in the checkout line right after I had
Yes.
scanned and paid. So, no, yeah, no take backs.
No take
Lost the
backs.
receipt.
I'm just
yeah.
glad that I didn't have to do puppetry roll this time.
Oh, puppetry roll this time.
Oh God, when we did Blue Ribbons, which was a comedy about small town pie baking competitions,
Mhm.
there was a sock puppet character, and the person who was supposed to play that was a very lovely person who was his first show, and he came to me like after the second rehearsal, and he was like, Hannah, I don't feel comfortable doing the puppetry. And I was like, okay, I went to clown school for a semester, so I guess that's a me problem now.
See, universe providing again. Who knew? Back in your clown days, that
Yes.
you'd be doing puppetry.
Back in London, when I did clown school with a side of Shakespeare histories, just to gain the full spectrum of human emotion, I think.
So is Jimmy actually in this script
Yes.
as an actual character in this? In
Yes.
and that befuddled me because when we did a different version of it, that character was over in this. I was kind of when you finally said when Hannah said no, when you said we said it.
It was
Somebody
Deb.
said
It was Deb.
It was Deb. When Deb said it, I was like, what are you talking about? There's no bird in
Yeah.
this. But in the movie, he
Mhm.
said he has his own like Wikipedia page.
Yeah, the bird who played Jimmy the Raven in It's a Wonderful Life was an actual raven, actually named Jimmy, and was in 100 or so
I can't believe this
MGM or Paramount or whatever films of the
I
time.
can't believe this is true. When you told me this at like 2:53, I was like, he's lying. That's not real. That's
Yeah.
a Bradley lie.
It makes for great trivia, though. I gotta say,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a Jeopardy question soon.
Mhm.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
That's what we'll
So, when did you first decide to do this production?
Yeah, so back in 2023, I was a production manager at Barter Theater in Virginia, and they did another version of It's a Wonderful Life, which was pretty similar in that it was, a cast of 7 to 10 people playing over 36 parts, I think it was, and I was the backstage manager for that show. And it was a very interesting experience. From a technical perspective, it was a little bit of a nightmare just because of the realities of that theater and the realities of the set. There was like a 5-foot passageway, and there were a lot of entrances and exits where people would have to exit one side of the stage and then 10 seconds later come back in on the other side of the stage. So I had to deal with the traffic patterns of that backstage. And, I made all my little documents that were like, on page 39, from line 6 to 20, you cannot stand back there because poor so-and-so will be sprinting across at light speed. I think it was Sean. Yes. But it was a really wonderful production, and it just kind of rotated around in my head for about 2 years until we started thinking about stage readings, and on a whim, I just kind of went, It's a Wonderful Life, and found out there were a bunch of live radio play adaptations of it. And that's the short story.
So I'm assuming
Yeah.
when you were backstage, that was an actual full blown production of it.
Yes.
So they had the characters actually having to do blocking and as
A lot of
opposed to-
costume changes.
as opposed to a radio play where they're just like standing and kind of
Mhm.
delivering it on the radio.
Yes. I think the
Nice.
track sheet for that production was about 10 pages long. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a wild time though. But yeah, I'm really excited about this adaptation. I think it's very funny. There's a lot of bells and whistles that are very specific to 1940s era radio drama. It provides you with legitimate old-timey ads that you can read out in the act
Mhm.
breaks, people calling in to comment on the progress of the play, all that kind of thing. And a live sound effects artist.
Love that.
Yeah.
So when was the film? When did the film come out? Was that in the 50s? Or was it way before then?
The year in my head is 1943, but I have no idea why.
I don't
That
think
can't be
that can be-
right. That can't be right.
The play is
Fact
on
checker.
Christmas Eve,
Fact checker.
1944.
Maybe that's why I
Yeah.
think it takes.
Post 1944. That's what I'm.
Okay,
That's what I
right.
can swear to.
Because his brother is away at war. He's a war hero.
Yeah.
Right, so it's got to be around wartime.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that's when it takes place. So I'm assuming that the radio play, 1946.
Thank
There
you,
we go.
fact
Thank you,
checker.
fact checkers. So the radio play actually takes place later on, but they're referring to that era of
Mhm.
when they're talking about the play being done in the 40s.
Yes.
But the actual actors who will be doing this radio play, it takes place in an ethereal at any time. Or is it set in a specific era
I would
where
say
the
late
commercials?
1940s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. How many people are in the cast?
14.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
It's big, and all of them are playing 2 to 3 roles, with I think 3 exceptions.
And is it in the same church where you did Ernest?
Yes.
I'd like to. That's a good space.
Mhm.
Very good space. So I also understand, speaking of people that we all know and love, that you don't have a Mr. Potter.
Nope.
You have a Mrs. Potter.
Yes.
How very progressive.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Yes, that's progress in the year 2025. The evil capitalist overlord is a woman. Diversity win. No.
Love that.
Yeah, it was just kind of a moment of Colleen was the most right person who showed up at auditions, and so I went back through the script and I was like, I don't know, I mean, she doesn't have to be a man. There's nowhere that it says, and it kind of seemed to motivate Potter's intense hatred more, because if you have a Mrs. Potter, not only is she, spent her whole life in a wheelchair, she's presumably a widow of someone. She's spent however many years on her own, like clawing her way to the top of what you have to assume was her husband's business. And then along comes this little punk, George Bailey, who kind of just sails to the top with zero work whatsoever, so it would seem to her. So it just seemed... It was one of those where you kind of have to motivate the decision after you've made it, but things kind of fell into place in a really interesting way.
Well, if anybody could bring that to life, it's Colleen.
Yeah.
Because we adore Colleen.
Yes.
But I was fascinated when you first saw it. I thought, that's interesting. It's Mrs. Potter. And that's my thought about it. I was thinking, that's a really, really innovative way to deal with that. Cool. And are there any other surprises besides Jimmy that we don't know about in this version?
There's a radio announcer with an Elvis style microphone. Yes. Gosh. They keep playing around with accents in rehearsals, so I wouldn't be surprised if like Bert or Ernie the taxi driver come out from Long Island. It's getting very wild.
Only when they're in Pottersville, though, right?
Yes.
They wouldn't have it if they were
I don't
in.
want to tell anybody about what happened for Sam Wainwright, because it haunts my dreams, to be honest. Bradley came out with this very wild choice for Sam Wainwright, and I don't want to spoil it, but the first time he did it in rehearsal, I physically fell over in my chair. It was very wild. Genuinely haunts my nightmares.
Well, because I'm counting Jimmy, I think I have 5 different roles to play.
Yes.
And only with Jimmy do I get the visual distinction of the puppet.
Uh-huh.
So all the other characters, I might be able to swap a hat or a bow tie or something, but it's mostly, all right, I have to distinguish these 4 different men, some of whom have similar roles in the story, through just a voice. And it's a difficult balance sometimes between something that is distinct from a previous voice in the show and don't want to lean too far into cartoon territory. But again, Hannah and I met playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is mostly doing silly voices.
We met doing improv comedy in a game store, basically. Yes. It was a very big choice, very motivated, I would say, but at the same time, it did take me very off guard at that moment. I fully slid under the table. I was laughing so hard, I think.
Wow, that's great.
Very wild.
I can't wait to see it. So now I also understand that there is some kind of a silent auction or a bidding war auction going on about you can be a guest spot on the show.
Yeah.
Along with your wonderful cakes from Deb.
Pies.
Pies.
Oh,
Tell us a little bit more about how that works.
yeah, so we have a silent auction going on to benefit Groundlings Theater with a lot of cool prizes, much swag, many signed items, many theater tickets, and a couple for each night of the performance. There's an opportunity to do a very, very small walk-on role. It's basically kind of well, I don't want to say too much, but walking on with a sign to establish location and time, just so that it is very low commitment. People don't have to worry about oh, can I project loud enough? Can I read effectively in front of an audience? It really is just you walk on, you show us your little sign, you go, you sit back down, you enjoy the performance.
But
Very nice.
What if they hold the sign upside down?
Then that's the beauty of live theater. Yes.
So where do they go to apply for all this and to put in the auction? Is that on the Groundlings Theater website?
Yes. And I think it's going through the end of the run of the show, correct? Yes, thank you, fact checkers.
It's so great to have fact checkers, isn't it?
Yes, one fact checker sitting back there.
Love that. Love
Yes,
that.
One checker, many facts.
that's
Right.
true.
So how many performances are there?
Just 3, the 19th through 21st. $5. There's also going to be a bake sale, so be prepared to bring cash, buy some
Love
cookies.
that. Love that. And is it 3 evenings or is it evening matinee?
The 19th and the 20th are evenings. 21st is a matinee.
So what's next after this? Do you know?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that.
Oh, it's a secret.
Oh.
It's a
The
secret,
fact
huh?
checkers are saying yes, you can talk about it. We recently got the rights to do Kate Hamill's Pride and Prejudice, which is going to be in July at the church. We're very excited.
Wow.
Yeah. We had to navigate the ins and outs of their theatrical rights website.
Is that a
Eventually,
nightmare?
it is a little bit. A lot of the links don't work, so we had to end up calling a specific guy twice, I think, just to make sure that things were processing correctly.
Did they correct any of that stuff after you spoke with them? That seems awfully awkward that they would have links that are broken trying to get the rights to a show.
I could not tell you if they did. I am
Wow. But you
unaware.
got them though, right?
Yes.
So evidently something worked out.
Finally, after we called that one guy twice.
Who's probably disconnected his phone
Yes,
now.
on that website, you can't actually get rights. You have to find one specific man in the department in order to gain the rights to perform shows, it seems. Womp womp.
Wow. And that'll be in I'm sorry, what did you say? It's
July.
in July. And
Yeah.
you already have your auditions date set? No,
No, not
coming
yet.
up.
Trying to get
be
through
announced.
this one.
To be announced.
Yes.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. How did you come? You may have answered this question before. How did you come upon the name calling it Groundlings Theater?
Yes. So back in the day, historically, at the time of Shakespeare's Globe, theater was kind of a great social equalizer because, you had people of all social classes attending the same performances. The very rich people up in the higher tiers of seating, and down on the ground where there were no chairs, the groundlings who paid, I think, like 2 pennies to get in and had to stand for the entire performance, but were up like right close to the action. The actors loved them because they were the people who really wanted to be there and didn't care that they had to stand for, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours and
Mm-hmm.
rain and tornadoes and all of that. So it's kind of just, we're here. We don't have we do have chairs, but metaphorically we don't have chairs.
I think they're pews.
Yes, we have
They're
pews.
You're in a church. Yes, you are in a
Mhm.
church.
We're kind of figuring it out as we go, but we got the spirit.
And did you have any concerns with the fact that there are other groundling theaters, the improv groups around?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
So that doesn't come up with when people search for it, that it comes up as Groundlings Theater?
No, because I think they probably typically search Wanakee, just because we're very
the
aggressive
only
in
Wanakee
saying
in
in
the
Wanakee.
world. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Cool. But there haven't been any, nobody from the Groundlings said, hey, you're using our name.
No.
Oh, good. Good. And if they do, tough.
I would probably cry and then change it.
Well, but I think having Groundlings Theater, because they don't really have, they're just the Groundlings.
Mhm.
In they're in LA, they're in Chicago, there's probably one in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of franchised out as an improv group,
Oh.
kind of like Second City.
Oh, wild.
But you should not concern yourself. I was just curious. I was curious if that factored in with your Shakespearean background.
Well, now that we've discussed it, I'm probably
Now
gonna
you
get an
understand
email tomorrow.
Right,
Like
exactly.
that, Michael Bruno.
Shut my mouth.
Yeah. Stop trying to get me in trouble with improv comedians.
Never. So Bradley, congratulations on being the new president of the Savoyards.
Yes.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
Thank you.
And are you having auditions coming up soon for your summer production?
Yes, we are. We don't have the exact date set, but we have hoping to get auditions and stuff sorted out within the next couple months.
And it is the version of the Mikado, but set in Scotland.
Yes,
correct?
it is the Mcado, MCADO. This is a version of the Mikado that's been done for the past few years now. I think it was a group in Austin that first adapted it to be set in Scotland, and last year the Gilbert and Sullivan Very Light Opera Company over our neighbors in Minneapolis did this production, and I went and saw it, and it was a good, successful, fun adaptation. And so yeah, come on out.
Thought it was the McAdoo.
McAdoo. So my question is,
Mhm.
not to dwell on this, why isn't it the MAC? Because it is in Scotland. Wouldn't that be the Mac instead of the
Yeah.
Mick MC, which is basically kind of Irish?
You know, I would have to go and check with whoever did the first adaptation of it in Austin, you
And
know.
read them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not too late. You know, generally with Gilbert and Sullivan communities, you know, people will make their own, you know, additions and changes, but you know, they all throw them, you know, more or less in the public domain. You know, you're allowed to make changes from their changes. So it's not too late to change the name with just one additional letter.
See, there you
You
go.
Michael
could-
Bruno
yeah.
causing licensing issues for all of us.
I want to make sure that everything's done correctly. You know,
Yeah.
I've been on the receiving end of people saying, "Why did you do that? Did you know that's
Right.
against the law? Did you realize that you're breaking copyright law?" It's like, I don't care. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. Let them come and get me.
I mean, yeah, but
First, they'll have to find you.
Well, yeah, they have to. Well, they pretty much know where I am in the basement of my house right now.
I hear them now. They're here.
yeah, but I mean, that is what's great about doing, you know, Shakespeare or Gilbert and Sullivan. I mean, anything, you know, a century or so old is, yeah, you don't have to worry about the licensing rights. You can change a thing or two. You can update it. You can, you know, occasionally there's an aspect that's a little problematic, whether it's a word or two that's changed meaning or the setting, you know, and you can just update
Well, yeah,
the
it's also like
yeah.
having Mrs. Potter.
Yeah.
I mean, you have every you know, people can go, "Oh, you can't do that. It's impossible." No, you can't. It's never been done that way. It's got to be an old crotchety man that says garlic eaters every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great, you know, it's a great way to be able to say, use the talent you've got and
Yeah.
adapt it to the show you're
To
doing.
be fair, the guy who did it, I don't know, like a 200-page guide to performing this adaptation, and it includes just about everything from how to tune an organ to how to produce any of the, I think, 200 sound effects that are going to be performed live on stage. And he does explicitly say on like page 10, it is okay to do Mrs. Potter. You can do it if you want.
Well, so he actually had that in that little. In
Yes,
that
he
book?
did.
Wow,
Which
and
is
that was
why
the
I
only
wasn't
character
scared.
that he picked out to do that. That's really interesting.
Cool.
Hmm.
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah, he wrote, I think, 10 pages about the casting process, and he kind of said, here's one breakdown of how the roles could be cast, but you can really do whatever you want. You can really mix and match as you like.
And has he done anything else? Did you like search who he is and what is this the only thing he's done? Is this his one baby, which is why he's so
No.
hands-on about giving an 88,000 page word
No,
about how to do it?
he's actually adapted a bunch of old-timey Christmas movies for live radio performance. I think he also
Oh, so
has
that's
It's
his
a
little
Christmas
niche, his
Carol.
little
Yeah.
niche then, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Any thing that you might be looking at future down the line of his? Now that you've tackled this one, or you're going to try to make this like your holiday show?
I really don't know. I don't want to do, I think, the same thing a lot because I think I would get bored.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely open to doing other adaptations of his. I think they're very fun, and I appreciate the care he puts into making sure people know how to do it in the way that he likes.
That's very cool. And where is he
Yeah.
based? Do you know?
I don't, but his website is riasonic.com, and it's very cool. He also wrote a complete church organ score for the show.
Good Lord,
Yeah.
really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And when we emailed him, actually, we were like, we would like to purchase the rights and also the church organ score. And he emailed back like a day later and he said, you should buy the rehearsal tracks too, because it'll be hard for you to rehearse if you don't have the rehearsal tracks without the organist. And we were like, okay, all right. You know, I respect that you care enough about this to make sure that we have the materials and also sell us the rehearsal tracks. He's a very involved guy. I respect
guess
it.
so.
Yeah.
Now, is there an organ? Is there an actual organ in the church, or you're bringing
Yes.
a little like Hammond organ? In?
Oh,
Or
no,
you're gonna
it's a
use the
big-
organ that's there.
We're using the organ that's in the
That's
church.
cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, we were sitting around, we were going, who do we know that plays the church organ? And we eventually found that a high school classmate of mine, Mitch Richards, plays church organs all around town. And when we emailed him to ask him if he would consider doing this, because, you know, he was the first and only person we knew, he basically said, yeah, that sounds really fun. So I'm very excited for him to
Nice.
have fun on the church organ.
Are any of your other cast members from Ernest in this production?
Yeah, Wyatt Clement, who played Mr. John Worthing, and Maddie O'Keefe, who played Cecily Cardew, as well as Josh Gibbons, who was all three of the butlers.
Mm-hmm.
Cass Punzel, she was Miss Prism, and Michelle Butcher, who was the stage manager for that production, is performing in It's a Wonderful Life.
So basically, you have almost the entire cast.
And 9 other people.
and others.
And others, yes. And Bradley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am one of the others.
Yes.
I unfortunately was not in earnest. I
No.
conflicted with my schedule. I was busy Iolantheing.
Yes, you were
Yeah.
very busy, Ireland.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like we have a custody agreement for Bradley.
Really? Did you willingly sign that? Or were you coerced into
Yeah.
signing that?
Yeah. Between Groundlings and Savoyards, I mean, yeah, because again, next year I think we're going
Yeah.
to have a conflict.
Yeah. It is a bummer.
Oh,
But
well.
you gotta do Magadoo.
You know, there's
Yeah.
only so
Mhm.
much time.
Yeah. But they keep telling me.
Anything else that we haven't covered? We've covered the auction, we've covered the pies, we've covered the tickets, we've covered the shows, we've covered pretty much anything. Anything else that we didn't cover?
See it. It'll be a good time.
Come see it. $5. You can't beat it. $5.
No.
And I'm assuming tickets are also available at the door as well?
Yes.
Unless you sell out, which you probably will.
We'll see. It's a big church. It's a big church.
But you could have like standing room groundling tickets.
That is true. Yes. The number of people who email us saying, "Do we have to bring our own chair?" is getting a little amusing. I respect that they looked it up. They were like, we know what groundlings are. Do we have to bring the chairs?
There,
I'm like, no,
see?
it's okay.
Perfect. Perfect. Good. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for
Best
having
of luck.
us.
You open in 2 weeks.
Ah.
I know I shouldn't have said that, but I make you even more nervous. But it'll be just fine. Bradley, thank you for coming in and enjoying with your sidekick Jimmy. Go and see It's a Wonderful Life live radio play at what's the name of the church?
Peace Lutheran Church in Wanakee.
Peace Lutheran Church at Wanakee. Get your tickets now. Go and get some delicious auction cakes and pies, and get a chance to like walk on with your vaudeville card.
Yes.
Who, what, where, when, why guest appearance.
Yes.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, World. And we'll see you next time on Showbiz Buzz with me.
Sounds like